Welcome to another training video from XMPRO. Today we will be looking at the control Number Selector and how to use it in App Designer. So as you can see, I have a blank page here, and let's say if I want to capture some numbers or display some numbers on the screen for the user, the best control to use will be a number box. If you want to add it, you can find it under Basic Controls, called Number Selector, and you can drag it across. So we'll do just that, but let me add a field set so that we can have some layout. So I've added a field set, and now in there I will add a number selector as my first field. Right, so I have a number selector, but of course if I launch the app it wouldn't do anything at the moment. So let's see what configuration options we have in the block properties for it. Starting with appearance, we have the standard visible option, which basically says if the control should be visible or not. Then we have a styling mode, which can be outlined, underlined, or filled. In order to explain what they are, I will just add a few more and give them different values. Let's say underlined for that one and filled for that one. And you will see the difference in their styles. So let's continue and look at the next value, which is a placeholder. So placeholder basically says if no value is specified, what should be the text that should be visible in the control. So we can say perhaps something like that, and it will display over there. Next we have tooltip, which is quite simple. If you specify any text here, that will be displayed when you hover over it. Lastly, we have clear button and spin buttons, which basically display a button to clear the value that user may have specified, and spin buttons basically just increase or decrease the number that you have chosen over there. So that was the appearance. Coming towards behavior, you can choose what should be your maximum value that a user is allowed to put in. Let's say 100. And similarly, what should be the minimum value. Lastly, format is where you can specify what sort of number or value user can enter. For example, if you want to only allow percentage, I can put in hash, which represents any number, and 0, which represents any number, and if no number is specified, 0 will be the default. And then I can put a percentage sign, which will just display at the end of the number that is entered to say that it is percentage. Next we have read only and disable, which are very simple items. Like if you don't want the user to be able to change, you will choose read only. Disable will just disable the control altogether. Next we have value, where you can specify a static value or a dynamic value. Static value you can just type in, for example, like that. For a dynamic value, if this control was part of a container which had a data source attached to it, you can then choose dynamic value here, and then whatever your data source is sending will become visible over here, and you will be able to select. This has been explained in many of the other control videos, and also in the video for how to use a data source, which you can refer to. So for now, I'll just give it a static value. Now, just to show you different formats that one can do, I will create this one for, let's say we want to capture currency in multiples of thousands. So I'll say number is what we want to capture, any number, and then I'll create another group by a comma for three digits, and then let's say we want to allow 2 decimal points. An important point is when you put a hash before the decimal point, it means any amount of numbers, but when you put it after the decimal point, it means 1 digit and 1 digit only. So 1 digit for each hash. Right. Similarly, let's do one more, and that can be, for example, you want to capture 2 digit with 2 decimal points weight value, like that. So I'll save all that. I will also give them some default values. Let's say that, and we'll go ahead and launch it. And as you can see, we have 3 controls. They are differently styled as per what we specified. One of them has a clear button which will clear the value and it will display the placeholder. We also have a spin button which can change the value. And if we specify the value, it appears over there. Lastly, this one, for example, has a currency format on it. So if I specify some value, it will display it in the currency format, as you can see. So that's how you configure a number box in App Designer. Thank you so much for watching.